2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready.
And welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Straight Talk, another edition. Each month, Straight Talk has a gift and talent. And believe me, you have some gift and talent up in here tonight.
On the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I thought I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, and you're the key to my peace of mind. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. And when my soul was in the lost and found, yeah, you came along to claim it. I didn't know what was wrong with me. Well, till your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do no more. You make me feel, you make me feel, oh, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done to me? What you done to me? You make me feel so good inside, so good inside, yeah. Oh, and I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Yeah. And oh, baby, what you done to me. You make me feel so good inside, so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, you make me feel. Hey, I said you make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Yeah.
Miss Shirley, share a little bit about that. Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul, the impact she had on your life.
Aretha Franklin had such an inspiration within her spirit.
Yes.
of God.
Mm-hmm.
And when she sang, because that's the way she was raised in the church. And when she sang, it came from every part of her being, the gift that God gave her. And she gave it to the world.
Yeah.
And she is truly missed by everyone.
Yes. You sound like you come from the church somewhere down in there too.
Well.
Oh, yeah. Miss Shirley, would you come back and do another song for us?
Sure.
Okay, Miss Shirley, give us a hand. Let's give another clap of praise for Miss Shirley. Yes. We did that a cappella. My goodness. Joining me is Mr. Jason Pittman, and he's from
Financial.
New Penn's Financial.
Yes, sir.
Let's give a hand for Mr. Jason. Let's tell us about what you do over at New Penn's Financial.
Well, I'm a loan specialist. Work with a lot of different people on getting their financing ready for purchasing houses.
Purchasing houses.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you say purchasing houses, there's a lot of misconceptions about purchasing a home.
Correct.
Let's talk a little few about them. First of all, people always think, and I thought the same thing, that I have to have this big old, for my viewing audience, the reason I'm wearing these glasses, I have a little red in my eye. The audience knows, so if you think I'm trying to be cool, I am. But but that's why I'm wearing them, okay? So, but you have to have this big old down payment. Talk to that, like 20%.
That is, that's a big misconception.
Yes.
That's an awesome question. You don't have to have 20% down. A lot of people think you have to have 20% down. You don't. You can come in, we have certain products where you can come in with zero down. But there's a lot of different programs that we carry. We usually want to talk with people and get them going, but a lot of people pause and they wait as far as getting out and purchasing because they feel like they don't have that 20%. And here in the Portland market, 20% is a chunk, if you're talking about a $250,000 to $400,000 home. So yeah, you definitely don't need 20%, and we do carry programs that has zero down.
Right, so people don't have to think that if I'm looking at a $2.25 million home, a $500,000 home, I got to come up there with, what is that, like $50,000 or $25,000 to put down. They don't have. That is a misconception.
Big misconception. And every situation is different.
Okay.
Every situation is different. But I mean, I can tell you across the board in Oregon, Washington, or anywhere else for that matter that we service, you're not going to need to come in with that chunk down, which, I mean, I know I don't have that.
Right.
I've purchased a couple homes
You're
myself.
just saying that though, right? Go ahead.
But yeah, I purchased a couple homes myself, and
right.
We have programs that help a little bit of everybody.
Okay. Now, what about People think they got to be on this job for 5 to 10 years. So that's another misconception I think that people have. I got to be on this job a long time before I can come and talk to someone like yourself.
Right. We hear that. We hear that a lot. A lot of times we hear 5 years. The big one's 2 years. And if you're working a regular W-2 job, it's usually 6 months on your job.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And if it's the same field, a lot of times it could be less than that. But take, for example, someone who's been out of the workforce, stay-at-home mother, stay-at-home father, and they're back in, they're working for 6 months, we can get them rolling right away. Also the same thing with students as well. They can get in there 6 months on their job, we're looking at their check stubs, and we're ready to get them rolling and look at get them pre-approved.
Right. So we've done away with the misconception about this big big down payment. It's a donation.
It's like a donation.
And the misconception about working on the job. So let's stop right there. Someone is looking at this right now, viewing this show, and they say, okay, I have a few dollars I want to put down. I've been on my job. The process is come and see you, bring some check stubs to you.
Well, initially we can even do it over the phone.
Oh, okay, okay.
But you can come down and see me. That's fine either way, or I can come to you. We just want to, initially I'm going to ask, kind of, like you just said, I want to know, do you have a job? Because you'd be surprised. There are people out there that want to buy houses that aren't working. So we want to make sure you're able, at least it is a loan that you're going to be paying back.
Right.
So you're able to, take care of that. So are you working? And then, timeline, and then we want to look at, the other things we're looking at is credit.
Credit. Yeah, let's talk about that because that's another one.
Right.
You know, the people think I have to have this. Do they have to have this big old credit score like 600, 700 plus to get into a home?
No. You know,
Okay.
and I've talked to people who, you know, I don't know if we've all heard, you know, the paralysis by analysis.
Right.
You know, and that is usually what happens with people when it comes to credit. They're waiting for their credit to get better.
Okay.
And but they don't really know where their credit should be. And you know, my challenge to anyone out there is just, you know, let us take a look at it, or let us talk to you and
Okay.
see where your credit score is. And you know, it doesn't have to be a 700. And there's stuff that people might have, old stuff on their credit, trade lines that show up, and they're still able to get qualified. I've been really surprised with some
Right.
recent clients
Okay.
who've, I was like, there's no way this guy's going to be able to get approved, and we've been able to get them pre-approved.
Okay.
So it starts with, you know, reaching out and seeing where you stand, and don't be that person who lets time just go by when you could be owning your own home instead of paying somebody else's mortgage for them.
Now, speak about that. Can you bring up one of those graphs? And it's about buying a home as opposed to purchasing a car. Because a lot of people, they go out and buy that nice car and pull it up to something that ain't nice as the car.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about why people do that. What is that misconception about that? Let me get me a car as opposed to get me a home.
Well, when I was young, I did that too. You know, we all think we want to have that nice car, and
Right.
you know, and it's a great goal to have. But you know, contrary to popular belief, your car is a depreciating asset. So
Okay.
I could buy a brand new Cadillac, a brand new Benz, whatever, and the second I drive it off the lot, I'm losing money. I instantly lost money. It's not worth what I just paid for it. Whereas your house, as you buy it, you know, a lot of times you can come in and purchase a home it's worth more than the appraised value of it, and you know, it constantly gets higher as you know, as we build an equity. And here in the Portland area and Washington as well, Southwest Washington, we've consistently seen about 5% growth as far as your equity, you know, per year. Now last year was about 11%,
Okay.
which is a decent chunk.
Well, I want to break those words down for our viewing audience. Equity, depreciation.
Correct.
Yes. What does depreciate? Let's talk about depreciation. Depreciation. What does that mean?
So a depreciating asset is, say, you know, I'm like, Tony, that's a really great phone you got there, and I'm going to buy it from you for $500.
Right.
And I go and I try to sell it, and they're like, you paid $500. You know, we're only going to give you $200 for it. So
Okay.
I'm not. It's not gaining more value. Now, something like a house, I've paid, you know, nice round numbers, $300,000 for it. Well, a year goes by, now my house might be worth $330,000.
Okay.
All the while, as the equity's going, and you know, I'm gaining equity in it, I'm also paying down my mortgage and paying down my principal. So it's just, there's no better way to create that wealth without saving every nickel and quarter that you have,
Right, exactly,
and being
yeah.
able to get ahead.
So the equity is basically saying more value now.
Correct.
You got more money. More
Yes.
money in the cookie jar now, basically.
Yeah,
Than
more,
you started at.
Yeah, more money just because you chose to purchase a place where you live.
Right.
And you're not going to get that when you rent a house
Or buy a car.
or buy a car.
Okay. So we got that out. We got you don't need a big down payment, credit. You don't need a large credit. You don't have to be on the job for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
So those are the biggest misconceptions.
Yes.
that
Yes.
that people have. Now, when a person, I want people when they see this to say, okay, I'm ready to do this. What is the first thing I need to do other than get in touch with you to kind of have my ducks in a row so when you start asking me questions, I have the information?
Well, we want to know, basically what you would make.
Okay.
On a monthly or annual basis before taxes are taken out.
Okay.
Don't round up. A lot of
Right.
people do, but we need to look at your taxes. And so, I've had people who've made, $3,500, $750 per month or something like that. And they're going, I make about $4,000, but it does make a difference on what you're
Okay.
pre-approved for. So just tell us what the actual amount is before taxes come out. And we need to know that number. It's good to have your taxes the past couple of years filed. I know most people do, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who don't file their taxes.
Right.
And
you see a lot of it, don't you?
I see a little bit of everything. I do. And that's one of those hurdles that we just can't get around. You need to have those taxes handled, in advance. And then, just kind of having all that kind of stuff close by. So once we're able to, look at things and get them pre-approved, and then once they end up in what we call contract, the purchase contract, we're definitely going to need all those documents.
Right.
So initially, just kind of getting the right numbers on what you make. You don't have to know what your credit score is. We can look at that for you. If you're not good to go that day, we work with a lot of people to help build their credit and look at things to get them in a position to purchase as quickly as possible. Our company also has a credit enhancement department who's very good, and they look at things, and there might be some credit card you need to pay down by $75, and it'll bump your score up 30 points or something to that effect. So there's a lot of different tricks, but again, I get back onto paralysis by analysis.
Right.
It's better to do something than just wait and not do anything, especially when you're trying to build that wealth, that equity. And I'm personally, I've been through it myself.
Right.
It was amazing.
You want to share personal experience?
Sure.
Yes.
We decided to purchase our house in 2004.
You say we?
My wife and I.
Okay, I didn't want you to get in there because she can see this.
Yeah.
You missed saying my name out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But we purchased our first house in 2004, and we talked with friends and kind of hemmed and hawed like I see a lot of clients do, and we ended up doing it, and then when we sold it, we were able to have that wealth and get the bigger house that we wanted as our family grew, and we wouldn't have been able to do that if we hadn't have purchased the home. If we would have rented, we'd still be renting. We wouldn't have had any of the money in the bank, or we wouldn't have been able to get the bigger home and so on and so forth. And I think what happens a lot of times when people are first-time home buyers, they see that big house that they want.
Right.
And a lot of times, you got to get that little house or the smaller house or whatever. It might not have all the bells and whistles that you want, but just get that process going, because, again, we get back to the equity, and you're able to get that equity in your home. And once you sell your home, you're most likely going to walk away with more cash and a little bit better financial portfolio than you were when you came in. As time goes by, people get raises and whatnot, and then that plus the equity, and then you're just having that purchase trade lines on your credit. Those are all playing in your favor.
Okay,
so I strongly encourage
that first step.
Take that first step.
Any events going on? You got any events going on right now that we want to let the people know?
We have one coming up October 20th. It's going to be at the Old Town Brewing at over there on MLK.
Okay.
It's going to be, from 12 to 2. Home buyer, it's free. Food on us. We go through our whole presentation, just kind of walking people through the process.
Right.
Because it's scary. I'm in the industry, and in each time I've always been a little, asking a lot of questions around the office. So we go through everything, though. We explain everything to everyone there, and no pressure sales. We're just there as a resource for people, and answer any questions that need to be answered. And it's lunch on us.
Right. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jason Pittman. He's at New Penn Financial. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Starting here, starting now, when we walk together, year by year. Starting here, when we talk, we will say the most with silence when we're near. Starting here, Now, when you sleep, you will dream a dream that's free from care. For now, when you wake, he'll be there. So be still, take his hand, for the greatest journey heaven can allow. Starting love, starting here, starting now. Now, when you sleep, you will dream a dream that's free from care. For now, when you wake, he'll be there. So be still, take his hand, for the greatest journey heaven can allow. Starting love, starting here, starting now. Starting love, starting here, starting now.
Joining me are the ladies, women at the cross, and they are women of faith. So we're going to go down from my right and just have them introduce them. Then we're going to talk about a powerful event that they have coming. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Pastor Robin Franklin from Hughes Memorial United Methodist Church.
Welcome, welcome,
And
welcome.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Straight Talk, another edition.
First Day
Each
in
month-
Zion Church in Portland, Oregon.
Yes, ma'am.
Minister Audrey Terrell, Emmanuel Church here in Portland,
And Data.
and Dr. Audrey
don't leave
Terrell
Data.
Institute.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Minister Gwendolyn Wilder from Vancouver Baptist Church.
Okay.
Minister Francine Freeman from Hughes Memorial Methodist Baptist Church.
Now, what I like
Methodist Church.
What I like to do, I like to come back and also state who your pastor is over at those churches.
Oh,
Yes.
my pastor is Robin Franklin.
Okay. Oh, pastor. Bless your heart. Okay.
Reverend Matt Hennessy.
Okay. Pastor.
Bishop C.T. Wells.
Okay.
Pastor Micah McNeil.
And you're also the former president of the NAACP in
Yes,
Vancouver.
former president.
Yeah.
Yes,
7
ma'am.
years I did with
Oh,
them.
bless your heart. Let's go. Yes. Okay. And you are the pastor.
I'm the pastor at Hughes Memorial.
Okay. You have a powerful event out here that's going on.
Yes,
Women?
we are hosting
Okay.
the Women of the Cross
Okay.
and kind of for the old timers, a fall revival.
Young at heart.
Young at heart.
Okay.
Listen, some people understand it as a revival.
Yeah.
We're having a preach-a-thon.
Oh, okay.
All women.
Oh,
To hear the voice of the women. And we're using the women of the Bible.
okay.
And some of them were really great women, and some were kind of good women,
Okay.
and some were like really bad women.
Bad girls
And
of the
so
Bible.
some of them were the bad girls of the Bible.
Okay.
And so we have different ministers, women ministers, that have agreed to take on a persona just to see what the women and the encounter that they had then and how faith affected them and what it means for us today as women of faith and how we can keep going forward and how we can, really love our community, love God, be present for our community and our families.
Absolutely. October
October 19th,
19th, okay.
Friday night,
Friday night.
and the 20th
Okay.
in the afternoon.
Okay.
And so Friday night starting at 7 o'clock, and then Saturday afternoon starting at 1 o'clock. So we have an outreach at Hughes, third Saturday outreach,
Okay.
and we take food out into the community to people in need.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Blankets, clothing. So we're asking people if they'd like to be part of that, to bring some clothing, as we have a clothes closet.
Yeah.
We are taking blankets out to Dignity Village. They're opening up, as I understand it, their greenhouse is going to be a dorm for women.
Okay.
And so we're collecting some blankets to take to the gals and the ladies out there, people on the street.
Okay.
So you can be part of that. Bring a blanket, bring some clothes, and we're going to have food.
Oh,
Girls,
yes.
we
Go
love
ahead.
to
Oh,
eat.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to add that
Yes.
a lot of women, not only women ministers, women of faith, we're so busy throughout the church, our own personal churches.
Yes.
But this is an opportunity that we can fellowship together and encourage one another.
Yes.
And this is about our 4th year, because we preach every Good Friday morning at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yes.
5 o'clock in the morning, women are preaching. And you know what happened on that Sunday
Good
morning?
Friday.
It was a woman, it was dark.
Right.
When she went looking in the tomb
Yeah.
for our Jesus. So we've been preaching and we've been having events. Women of Faith, we honored the new police chief
Yes.
Yes.
that
Okay.
came, and we're excited now, and we're growing. We've got about 30 women that interact, and we support one another. And that's all we're trying to do
Yes.
at this day and time. Encourage one another
Yes.
of whatever faith you are and whatever you do within the church. Because we're so busy with the children, busy in the kitchen, busy
Right.
with administration. Through our ministry, this is opportunity that we fellowship with one another, and it's growing, and we're meeting
See, I can
each
feel
other.
excitement in when you're talking
Yeah,
about it.
it's
Yes.
just wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Women at the cross.
Yes.
You want to chime in on?
Oh, I'm just so glad to be a part of the ministry, and like our sister Minister Terrell said, that we can encourage each other.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and like you say, you working in your church all the time, and this is what I kind of like, being able to be a part of something that's not in the church. You know, we have to extend our ministry, and I'm just glad to be a part of being able to bless these women and being able to tell them something about the Lord. That's all it's all about, just telling people about Jesus.
I heard
That's
that.
it.
I heard it. On the end.
Yeah, because you know, when they talk about the women, when we talk about the women that we're going to be preaching about, we're also letting people that don't know that a little bit of them is in there in the Bible too.
Okay.
You know, because we all got a past and we all have done things.
Right.
But you know, in the Bible, all those that have done things, well, the most of them that have done something wrong, God has turned their life around.
Okay.
So, you know, letting people out there, young people and people that don't come in all the time, to know, come on in and find out where you fit in.
Right.
You know, hear a word about you.
Okay.
Don't think that, you know, that everybody in the church is above. Because everybody has something that has happened in order for their life to turn around. Like I said, like I was told, you have to go and have a test before you can have a testimony.
Oh, say
So
that.
therefore, that's what it's talking about.
Yes.
And it'll reach out and touch everybody. I believe there's a little bit of Jezebel, a little bit of rehab, a little bit of woman at the cross,
Yes.
the
yes.
sinful woman. I think there's a little bit of that in some of every one of us, you know. And but see, and Bathsheba. Yeah, but don't forget about Bathsheba. We got to remember there's a little bit of that in every one of us out there that is struggling, trying to figure out, why am I going to go through these church doors?
Right.
What is in there for me? How can it help me? Well, find out. Come in, because we're going to talk about us.
Don't talk about. And that applies to the women, what they're going through today. from what I-
Today,
Yes.
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 Okay. Dr. Terrell, you was going to chime in on.
I was just excited about the fact that we asked the women who they want to preach about.
Okay.
You know, you could pick all them women in the Bible, and the adulterous woman. You don't
Right.
want to talk about the adulterous
Don't
woman,
talk about
do
her,
you?
huh?
Okay, but we will. Then we have someone talking about Jezebel.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Jezebel.
Yeah. But all of that brings it to, you
Yes.
can feel it, you can relate.
Yes.
But what's so miraculous about it, we're saved by grace.
Yes.
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 We're saved by grace.
Yes.
When Jesus came, he was in the community.
Okay.
He was with
Right.
people. Mary Magdalene, with all them spirits.
Right.
So all I'm saying, this gives opportunity. 7 will preach on Friday night,
Yes.
and
Okay.
7 will preach Saturday at 1. and it's just a fellowship. And then we're going to eat hearty after that.
Yes.
And we're going to have child care available.
Okay,
Certainly
yes,
want to
yes.
let everyone to know. Please come, and you've got to bring them children
Bring
and
the children,
grandchildren.
right,
Bring them.
yes, yes.
We're going to have that available for you. But it's the time the women get closer to encourage, and especially all of us, because we're so busy in our churches.
Right.
We are very busy. I know I do vacation Bible school. I have all the kids. I had them all this morning.
Okay.
It's just one thing after another, teaching Bible school on Wednesday. But when is the time we can fellowship with each other as women
As women,
and
yes.
share? So
Yes.
we're excited about it. We're very excited about it.
It sounds like it. Speaking about sharing, this is a special lady here. She always she
Yes.
just brings something with us all the time.
Yes.
Can you bless us with some of that poetry?
Yes,
Miss Marple.
one thing
Yes.
I would like to do is tell you about the Women at the Cross Ministries.
Go ahead.
We have a vision statement and a mission statement.
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
And our vision statement is Women at the Cross is an ecumenical fellowship of Christian believers joining hands, moving forward together in Christian fellowship under the leadership of Jesus Christ. And our mission statement is Women at the Cross is a Bible-believing, Christ-centered fellowship with its focus on saving souls for Christ, praising God, and helping to meet the needs of humankind.
Amen.
And she has passed on.
Oh,
And
bless
I
her.
discovered this again this week, and I thought it was very appropriate. It's entitled, Take Time.
Oh my goodness.
Take time to live, for this is the secret of success. Take time to think, for this leads to the source of power. Take time to play. This is the strength of youth. Take time to read the word, for this is the source of knowledge. Take time to smile. It will lift life's load. Take time to dream. It hitches the soul to the stars. Take time for God, for He is life's only everlasting investment. By Mary Carolyn McLaurin.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, yeah.
One other thing that I will leave you with, and you can think about this the rest of the week and the rest of the month.
You're not gonna leave us, are you?
Well, no, but
Okay.
when I read this, it gives them time to think
Okay.
and to answer this question for themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the body in the soul, or is the soul in the body?
Oh my goodness.
Think about that.
Think about Can you pull up a JPEG? I want to ask the ladies while they're here. It's a JPEG of Dr. Ford. Can you pull it up real quick? I just want to get their opinion on what's happening right now with this nomination going on. Dr. Ford's and I guess you could say Judge Kavanaugh. And I'd like to get you women's opinion on what is going on and how our Senate is, how they treating her. Anybody can chime in on it. How do you think about what's going on right now? And can you pull that JPEG up, please, while they're talking about it?
I'd just like to say, I think it's just a time for women to say something.
Yes.
We are our place of being homemakers and raising children, but it's the time come we need to say something.
Yes.
And we all got some little stories that we should have said 30 or 40 years ago.
Okay.
But I think the spirit of the time,
Okay.
the
Yes.
spirit of the time is that we should say something and teach these other young girls, don't let those things happen.
That's
say
right. Say
something.
something.
Yes.
If the message is, okay, yeah, we didn't say nothing 30, 40 years ago, but we're saying it now. And unfortunately, those people in authority that makes decisions, they think it's okay. You know, it was okay for them to do that.
Right.
But not so. It is the time for us to speak up. And we also, Senator Feinstein, she was saying, you know, listen to what they have to say.
Right.
Because number one, we vote.
Right.
We're part of the economy. We're parents. We are part of society, U.S. society. So listen to what they have. Respect them enough.
Anybody else?
I think that they should listen to her.
Yes.
And then once you listen, then you make your decision. Everybody needs to be heard.
Yes.
And heard about whatever situation they're going through with. No one can make up your mind for you, but you can at least listen and try and understand where she's coming from.
Yes.
Okay.
And these seem like troubling times.
Okay.
And one of the things that for women at the cross is that we are claiming our voice. And so a lot of times women are passed over. Women ministers are not heard.
Okay.
People have served in the church faithfully,
Yes.
doing
Yes.
all kinds of things, and nobody has listened. But you know, God hears.
Okay.
And
yes.
God hears the
That's
cry,
right.
He hears the blood from the ground, He hears the cry of the wounded heart, He hears the cry of the Hebrew slaves. God hears every voice. And in this day where there's so much chaotic noise out there, and to the point of absolute confusion and nonsense sometimes, voices need to be heard. And we come together as women of faith so our voice can be heard, not for us, but we can tell our stories, but we can tell the story of the one who redeems us the most,
Yes.
who is Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Right. So they
And
need
He will redeem us and help us the most.
to help us the most. Anybody want to chime on how they feel about Dr. Ford and the Kavanaugh issue? You
I
know,
just-
they denied her the investigation, and you know they won't even let her have an FBI investigation. Have any of you ministers or pastors had an experience of dealing with any women that's been through that? You don't have to speak their names, but is this a thing where the woman just don't talk about it for years?
It seems to me that back in the day, back when when I was coming up and when my mom was coming up, you don't speak about it.
Right.
Okay.
Say nothing, won't nobody. Whatever goes on, what goes on in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever goes on here stays here.
Right.
And it don't get talked about. And then you wonder how come mental health comes into the picture, or how come people are committing suicide when they're trying to tell you in the first place, this happened to me and you want me to be quiet. I think that things should be spoke out. Not, we might have messed up and dropped the ball, but that doesn't mean we have to continually drop that ball and keep messing up.
Right.
We got to
okay.
sit up there and pick it up, and right now is the time for us to open up our mouths and let somebody know we have a voice. This atrocity happened to me, and I want everybody to know what it is and who did this, so it don't happen to you.
Absolutely. Any other ladies want to chime in?
I
on
just want to add
Miss-
that God is,
okay.
is allowing, bringing to the forefront the Spirit of God, where this needs to be said.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's coming from the top, our
Okay.
leadership, to see the realities. And I'm just thankful to God for the spirit of openness, because I think women's relationship with Jesus Christ is giving them confidence
Okay.
to be able to speak, because we got fear.
Right.
We all these stereotypes. You don't say nothing, and you're only supposed to be here. But when you grow closer to realities in your life, you're able to speak truth.
Okay. Ms. Marvel.
I think women need to stand and continue standing together. Even in our mission statement, we're joining hands, encouraging each other.
Right.
And I minister and mentor to several, maybe perhaps 10 women. Some are in the church, some are out of the church. They have their own reasons.
Right.
And some of them have tried to commit suicide.
My goodness.
They've been abused for years, from a child to 18. And it's amazing how some have come through
Yes.
because they have trusted God.
Okay.
And some couldn't find God because they were in such turmoil. We need to pray together. Women all across
Yes,
this nation,
yes.
pray for that situation, because she needs prayer.
Yes.
Our prayers, we need to be sending
Yes.
those up to God
Yes.
so that He can strengthen her, so she can continue to stand. Now, she has stood up, but they're trying to sit her down.
Down. Okay. Yes.
But only with God's help and our prayers
Yes.
can she continue standing.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Any other ladies want to chime in?
Just
You
call
okay?
her an example of what to do now, so it doesn't continue. We got to start standing up.
Okay.
We take a role. We work jobs. Some work at the shipyard. Some work at hard jobs. They're working in the offices. We got to sit up there and let them know we're not taking it anymore.
Women of the Cross, thank you ladies for sharing that. I really wanted to hear your point of view on that. Women at the Cross, and the event is going to be
October 19th.
October 19th.
October 20th.
And
2
October
days.
20th.
Yeah.
2 days. Go out and bless them where you can be blessed. Women at the Cross.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. Joining me is Miss Deborah Harris, and she always comes with a segment called Beneath the Rose. Welcome again, Miss Boy. Let's get Miss Yes.
Thank you very much.
I know you're full of some knowledge for us that's going on. You got the midterms and other stuff. Please share with us.
Yes, well today, because we are so close to the midterm,
Yes.
I find it pertinent to share with the community what we need to do to get ready.
Get ready, yes. Get us ready.
Yes. Well, first of all, the midterm election.
I want to say this too. I've been getting hits on Facebook and my emails. People really appreciate what you're doing. I just want you to know. They really appreciate it. I want you to know. I don't even know what, but I want to get that out there, yes.
Thank you. It's all about building relationships and connecting the community.
Yes.
Well, November 6th, 2018 is the general election.
Okay.
November 6th. Okay, the deadline for new Oregon voters, if you're a new Oregon voter, to register is October 16. If you're in the military or overseas, your ballots will be mailed out September 21st. Out-of-state ballots are mailed out October 9. All other ballots will be mailed out beginning October 17. So if you don't get it on the 19th or 20th, if you're in state, it will be mailed out beginning, which means anywhere is up to.
So be looking for it.
Be looking for it,
Yes.
yes. And absentee ballots, if you're going to be out of the state, you'll have to either go in person to pick it up, or either you can contact them to request that it's mailed out to you if you're going to be away from home. But during the election are available beginning tomorrow, as a matter of fact, September 24th. So if you're going to be at the Bahamas, Tony, make sure you get your absentee ballots.
Because I'm going to vote. I'm going to really vote.
Now, the deadline to vote is when? December 6th by 8 p.m.
Okay.
If you're trying to go there and rush and get your ballot in at 8:01, 8:02, it's no good.
Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
The governor's race, there are how many candidates? There are 6 candidates in the governor's race.
We're only hearing about 2.
We're only hearing about 2. I figured that would be important to share.
Yes.
The top contenders, Kate Brown and Newt Bueller. Now, so I always look at it when there are other contenders. Sometimes they can be put in as sort of distractions.
Oh, okay.
And also, to maybe pull votes here, pull votes there.
Okay.
So that's all we hear about.
Exactly.
That's all you see on TV.
Yeah.
But there are 6. Now, the hot topic runoff from May primary, the Multnomah County Auditor, Scott Learn and Jennifer McQuirk.
Okay.
And the City of Portland Commissioner, this is a hot topic.
Hot.
Yes.
3 hots on that one.
3 hots.
Yes.
Joanne Hardesty and Loretta Smith.
Okay.
With much difference in personality, voters need to look at the substance.
Okay.
Too often times we want to look at what the media says, but we need to look at substance. We need to investigate ourselves, find out information about each of the candidates, because the media is only going to give you what the media wants.
Exactly. Okay.
And a couple of measures that are all the measures are important. A couple of measures that are real important are Measure 103, which would amend Oregon's constitution to bar any taxes of sales of groceries. It's risky, and in my opinion, it's risky and it's unnecessary. Okay. I didn't tell you how to vote, but I'm saying I feel it's risky and unnecessary. Measure 105 would remove Oregon's status. Right now, we're a sanctuary state.
Oh, my
Vote
goodness.
105 would remove Oregon's status as a sanctuary state. So those are 2 to really look at. When you look at your pamphlet, when you read the information, read it entirely. Read all the details. Read the facts. frequent questions. People are often asking me, who do I vote for? Who should I vote for? Many voters are not, this is what they say, I'm not politically savvy.
Okay.
I only see what I hear in the media, in the newspapers, or on TV. Who should I vote for? But with me, myself, I can't tell them right there.
Exactly.
Because I really have to, I just sort of get me a list and I chart out who did this, who did that, who's going to be. What I look at mainly is who is bureaucracy and who is for the people. You
gotcha.
and I, who's going to be there for the people
Right.
through thick and thin. Do your research. What qualifications do candidates have? What contributions, what programs, what bills they have introduced? What has the candidate done to improve the quality of life for the community, for the city, for the state? What have they done?
What have they done?
You
Bottom
can't
line,
just look
yes.
at the bottom line. You can't just look at the ads and say, okay, that sounds good, I'm going to go with that. And another thing is, it concerns me when there is a truckload of negativity that one candidate puts on another candidate.
Oh, God.
When I see that truckload of negativity, let's say, for instance, you and I, Tony, I'll be the bad person. I'm always giving.
No, I'll be the bad person. It's okay.
No, I got to be the bad
Okay.
person. I'm always putting a lot of negative. Oh, Tony's shoes will never shine. You know, he doesn't wear suits. He wears jogging suits. I'm a truckload of negativity.
Exactly right.
It appears that statistics says that when one gives a truckload of negativity, that means that they don't have anything, they don't have any substance for themselves.
Oh my goodness.
The most important
yes.
thing to do is when you focus on your credibility, what you've done, what you can do, give people a track record. I've done this, I've done this. If you can't give your voters a track record, if you can't supply them with information, if all you have to present to them is the negativity of another candidate, that's pretty bad. And of course, in the political battle, you're going to have some negativity.
Right.
But when it's there all the time, you question, well, what do you have to offer?
That's something to look for.
There's something to look
yes,
for.
Gotcha.
So be really cautious, careful of that. So basically, those are some of the basics I wanted to cover today. Most important thing is to vote.
To vote, absolutely.
And also check out who you're voting for and
Right.
what you're voting for. Because once you check that ballot and you drop it in the slot, it's done. When the final counts are made, if you're upset because this candidate isn't working out, or if this measure didn't provide the provision that you expected, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Right, and and a lot of people are upset right now. Well, some are happy, well, a lot of people appear to be unhappy about what's going on in the White House, who's in the White House, who's on the Senate, who's on the Congress, and they don't understand that when they didn't go vote, that's what they get.
And it's our responsibility, each one of us, is our responsibility to encourage someone else to vote. If you have a neighbor, if there's a young person, or if there's a seasoned person, it doesn't matter what age you're in.
Right.
Always encourage someone to vote. Don't assume that because someone has a PhD or if they have a master's or they're in undergrad that they're going to vote. That isn't the case.
Right.
But you remind, sometimes people don't do it. Well, I just didn't have time. I was bicycling, or I was had to do this. I was out of state. I was in another country. But I've just shared with you how you can do absentee ballots.
Exactly, exactly. Because when you don't cast your vote,
You don't cast your vote.
that person that you don't want is actually getting that vote.
It's actually getting that vote. Yes, yes.
And it got to be important because they put up all these barriers, what they call it, gerrymandering, all these borders,
Yes.
boundaries to keep people from voting.
Yes.
So it must be important.
And for all people, but especially for African Americans, it took us a long time to get that right to vote. Our forefathers worked so hard, and even after we got that right to vote, there was things that were in place, rules and procedures in place where we still couldn't vote.
Okay.
Because
yes.
of fear and other things. So we didn't. So those things are removed. There may be some little
Right.
item somewhere, but use that vote. That's what we have. Use that vote.
And then use that vote on November
6th. Before 8 p.m.
Before. Don't be waiting to talk about 9 o'clock and trying to cast a vote. Go, if you can, go early.
Go early. And you can drop the vote off downtown. You can drop it off at a library, anywhere. Mail it in.
Melda. We're going to keep talking, but while we're talking, Miss Francine, Minister Francine, she's going to bless us with a gospel song because they give me a wind up. So we're going to go ahead and bless us with that gospel song. And let's get a clap prayer for Miss Bora Harris on Beneath the Road. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. November 6th, people, please get out and vote. Please get out and vote.
Find favor in your sight. Lord, please hear my heart cry. I'm desperately waiting to be where you are. I'll cross the hottest desert. I'll travel near or far for your glory. I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. For your glory, I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. I want to be where you are. I gotta be where you are. I want to be where you are. I gotta be where you are. For your glory, I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. I want to be where you are. I gotta be where you are. Peace is where you are. Joy is where you are. And love is who you are. I gotta be where you are.
I'm going to come over here. We're going to close this on out.